Hold on. I guess we should start with the trade, right? Let's start with that.
Let's start
honestly,
with the trade.
We'll start with the trade because honestly, I was. I know you called me a couple of times and I didn't answer, and mostly because I was doing other stuff. I was busy, but I was really kind of just. My mentality was this was going to be something small. I needed another quarterback because Carr got hurt. Homer is not somebody I'm comfortable throwing in as a every week starter. He's my only healthy quarterback left, and his bye was coming up in 2 weeks anyway, so I was going to need a fourth quarterback regardless.
Right.
Didn't want to go. I could have easily picked up, a Jared Goff or somebody, but I like Watson. Think he's the real deal, and I felt, value-wise, Watson isn't totally a yet.
Right.
And I figured, I'd, buy low on him and try and unload Isaiah Crowell, who hasn't done diddly. He's done diddly squat so far.
Right.
I like what I did. I like the trade. I don't think it's an unequal trade. I think it was a fair deal. There's two sides to it, but I like getting Watson. I think it's a big upgrade at quarterback for me.
Well, from my standpoint, I think it was an okay trade. Contemplating rejecting it initially, believe it or not, but then sitting down and a little bit. Watson was a bench guy for me because, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And then just looking at the bye week where I would use Deshaun Watson, he's coming off the bye, but it's in Seattle at Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Greatest matchup.
Right.
And I know Crowell has not done that much, but reports out of Cleveland suggest that on him, they want to give him the ball a little bit more. They got some offensive issues, especially at quarterback right now. I know that's contradicting to what I said last week. I still like Kaiser, but but the report suggests that they haven't given up on him. So they put $4 in on Watson. He would just sit on my bench.
Mm-hmm.
Running back depth at the time, before waivers went through, I thought not a bad move for me on my end because outside of McCaffrey and like Chris Thompson, else has really stunk. Bernard's been up and down, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Insurance at running back, so enter Isaiah Crowell.
There's not a whole lot, as I said, this was there wasn't a whole lot to lose on either end here.
Exactly.
So, it made sense. I felt it was a nice little trade to try and kick things off, considering nobody else in this league likes to trade. So, yeah, there's that. Standings. James, you're in. I did want to comment. Looking at the standings, that's Central Division. I cannot comment on it this week because nobody wants to lose. You're stuck. Yeah, it's a very tough division. You're in a three-way tie with two other very good teams right now. And then on the flip side, the North Division looks awful this year. On the not only record wise, where the first place team is 2-2, but the three lowest scoring teams. If I scroll down here, the three lowest scoring teams are in the North.
Wow! Just a couple years ago, we were thinking the South Division, weren't we?
Yeah, but the South looks to be the middle one this year.
Oh yeah.
Middle of the pack. Everybody. South's going to be. It's record wise, it looks like a two-team race right now. Steve and I are kind of ahead of Joe and John by a decent amount of games. But I mean, if you look at points score wise, everybody's within 25 points of each other in the
Right.
South. So it's interesting. I kind of commented, I've had so much luck. Unbelievable. 386 points against them. I kind of noted a couple days ago that's less than 100 points per game opponents are scoring against me.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to change. I know I'm probably not going to get.
Can
What's that?
To Michelle leading the league in scoring right now.
Her team is
Close.
just by a mile too. 69 points in 4 weeks into the season.
She had a rough week 1. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, I mean, the last 3 weeks she's been unbeatable basically, and only you and Glenn are the only other two teams with over 500 points, and she's closer to 600.
Yeah.
Shows you how far ahead she is of everybody else. All right, so now, all right, let's get to your other move. Latavius, James, you're down to what? $21 now
Yes.
after Thursday. Not a lot of money.
Yeah.
I know Latavius Murray was the big fish. I wasn't going higher than 20. That's what I bid. John bid 22. Mo bid 16. There were a couple of lower bidders. Joe and Woj each bidding $35.
Here's why. I had no number 2 running back at all. No number 2 running back, and my flex worthy running back, Chris Thompson. And if you want to consider Crowell a running back, I mean, he does have a little bit of upside, but like you alluded to, he hasn't done a lot the last couple of weeks. So I needed something that I felt comfortable with in terms of usage. And not to mention the other reason behind that $35. The last 2 times there was a big fish for waiver wire pickup, by a couple of dollars. Javoris Allen, I think I went in like 16. Somebody went 20. Allwood, I went 25. Glenn went 28. So I pretty much was like, F this. The number 13 running back in fantasy last year. I know he's coming off the ankle, but they made it clear he's going to be the primary back with McKinnon doing the passing down, third down work. For me, it was a no-brainer to go in for him. You have the most amount. Could probably be one of the top 2 or 3 waiver wire pickups this year from a running back or tight end standpoint. That at least guaranteed touches a game.
I guess.
So I had to go in on him, but
you also spent $15 on Alex Collins.
Well,
who nobody else even bid on.
Well, that's the other thing. That was supposed to be my backup plan. By the slim chance over the last couple of days has been talking up Latavius Murray. So I didn't know if Glenn was going to go ape shit again or somebody was going to go ape shit again. He was my number 2 waiver acquisition. I was even kind of surprised nobody bidded on him. And, Alex Collins right now, I was expecting to get him, but I guess a week filler right now. He's got a decent matchup this week. It seems like Terrence West has fallen out of favor. You look at Javaris Allen. Yes, he's the passing down back, but he's also, as a running back, he's not a 3-down running back. Now, and I know Collins has had a lot of fumbling issues. It's Collins or go back to West.
Yeah, I just don't like Baltimore this year. I mean, their offense is
Well, I don't think anybody does, but I'm saying, and shot on him, but again, I wasn't expecting to get him. That $15 was like a just in case sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And to land both and I'm down to $21. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's rough. Active on the waiver wire for the next couple of weeks, obviously, but I think these moves make some sense because it's showing up a position that I know you've been critical about with me that has been very weak, and I got lucky with Chris Thompson over the last couple of weeks.
There were a lot of actual bids put out this week. A ton of bids overall. A lot of players purchased. I know I kind of like John getting Corey Clement for $11 of the Eagles. I was kind of surprised nobody else bid on Wayne Gallman of the Giants. Got him for $8. We can't go over everything here, but and the other big one was Aaron Jones going to Mo for $15. So a lot of money spent this week. By a lot of people. All right, James, you'll be happy to see this. You're the top dog this week, or your game is, I should say.
Why am I game of the week?
It's a good matchup. Your team's playing well.
My team's not playing well. I only have 2 players right now.
Yeah, I know you did that on purpose. So,
you're putting me on the spot.
Yes, I know you did that on purpose. So, and I know that Brandon Cooks got 13.
Yep. Decent night.
Yeah, it was one below his projection, but it was kind of what was expected.
Yeah.
Going up against Justine, I'm talking about teams that are playing well. Ever since I completely tore Justine's team apart 2 weeks ago, she won 2 straight. And say what you will, her points scored. She's still got the fewest points scored in the league, but that's kind of skewed by that 58-point game in week 1.
Yep.
If you were to throw that out the window, her team's not the worst scoring team in the league. That really weird first week just skewed all her stats. She's really her whole team basically. Le'Veon Bell, Larry Fitzgerald, and Alex Smith have carried her team though. If we want to be honest about it, she hasn't really gotten a lot of production from anyone else. Jay Ajayi's been not good so far. And I'm just not sold on her team's depth overall. Looking at bye weeks, she's missing Emmanuel Sanders. She's missing Tevin Coleman. I know you're missing Chris Thompson, James, but because I know you did this nonsense, so I blew up your bench. To be honest, I kind of like I am picking you this week to win. 4 in a row. I do.
No, Michael. Don't. No bad juju. Come on.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't know what kind of lineup you're going to go with. You have a ton of options here, but I do think I like some of the matchups here better.
I'm going to go Justine because he's on a hot streak right now. Let me tell you.
Alex Smith may end up becoming the best. When she take him, like 17th round pick ever. I mean,
oh my God. It's kind of like picking Tom Brady in the 6th round.
I wouldn't say that.
I would.
Like that. No, I wouldn't say that.
Smith would be the number 3 fantasy quarterback right now. Number
2.
2?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're if you can't you gotta toss out what Brady did last night because Smith hasn't played yet.
but I mean, still, who would have thought Alex Smith, number 2 quarterback in fantasy?
Yeah, it's pretty. No one predicted that. How well he's played. I don't know what got
He's
into him. He
playing
made some
better than
deal.
Aaron Rodgers.
I know he made some deal with the devil or something. Um, with that said, they are playing Houston this week.
They are.
That's not an easy matchup. It's gonna be a very good game, Kansas City, Houston. But we'll see how Smith holds up. And Chiefs are also the last undefeated team left in the league, right?
That is correct.
That's correct. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But this is going to be a good game, and definitely one. I know you've got another huge game coming up next week, James.
Dude, like my schedule's brutal. I got Burlack next week. I think I got Glenn the week after that, who's always a good team in there at some point. This is a must-win for me, but I really don't think I'm going to win it.
It's hard to say. I mean, your team. Do you have a? I'll say that much. You haven't. Your wins haven't been against any of the big name teams so far.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying I'm nervous.
So we'll see what happens. Next up, as I said, speaking of red hot teams, Michelle's team, and we kind of mentioned this. I mean, it's right now where we stand after 4 weeks. I think it's clear and away the best team in the league. Top to bottom. Now, in 2 months from now, who the hell knows? You don't win. It's first weekend of October. You don't win championships now. But she's won 3 in a row, and she's not even. I mean, the wins haven't even been close. She's been blowing everybody out. This week she gets Brendan, and Brendan's team is going the opposite direction. The last 2 weeks have not been good. Last week was his team's worst game in I think 2 or 3 years. And things are just he missed Gronk last night. Last night was really bad. Brendan's not off to a good start. He entered the week a 15-point underdog. And he had 3 players in last night: Gillislee, Dwayne Allen, and Steven Gostkowski. And his top scorer out of those 3 was the kicker.
Wow.
Gostkowski actually had a good game, 13 points. But Dwayne Allen, I can bring it up here. Zip. Nothing. Even though Gronk was out. Mike Gillislee, 5 points. Not good news. And Chris Hogan, of course, Michelle had Chris Hogan last night, and of course he was the top fantasy player tonight with 21 points.
That he was.
Yeah. Michelle is now something like ESPN has the line as her winning by 32 as a complete route. I agree. I think it's going to close up a little bit. Before last night, I was actually thinking Brendan may have a shot just because Michelle's missing Devontae Freeman this week, which obviously hurts. I mean, she does have Bilal Powell behind them, but it does shuffle things about in that she has to play Cole Beasley in the flex this week, who hasn't done a hell of a whole lot so far this season. So Michelle's not at full strength. But after what happened last night, I can't see her losing this game unless something crazy happens. Her team's just playing way too well, and Brendan's team's poorly. You all know those counts?
Yeah. I agree. I think the one area that Brendan on is wideout. I mean, Antonio Brown, Josh. I'll give the edge to Jeffrey over Lockett. 21, but I will say this. Sterling Shepard, I had him last year. Guy, he can So if I was to say that there's a key to this game, it's going to be the wide receiver play. If the wideouts play for Brendan, I think he's got a shot. But ultimately, Mike, I agree with you. It's going to be Burlack.
Can we please, somebody has to tell Brendan to stop playing the Giants defense, please? I mean,
he believes in them, bro.
I understand he believes in them, but you're trying to win fantasy games here. I mean, it's okay to play Sterling Shepard. Shepard's been fine. Giants defense, no. It's just, it's not working. But I mean, he's not the only one that's guilty of bad lineup decisions. So I can't get on him too much. And he is 2-2.
Mike, it's all about luck.
It's not, yes, but you can at least put the odds in your favor a little bit. You know, move things around, change things up. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens this week. Next up, we go to the South. Joe is playing Woj this week. I noted Woj is now 3-1. He is, and I don't know if this is true or not. I swear he may be the first person ever to win two 1-point wins in 4 weeks into the season. He just got that the Monday night, the way his matchup with Rob ended Monday night, where Rob Kelly, who's on the Bergen Blaze, injured his ankle with Bergen 1 point short of tying. Yeah, that's the worst kind of loss. And so Woj probably should have lost last week. He barely escaped. He's 3-1. Joe's team actually played very well last week. He had the second most points scored out of everybody in the league, but he was playing the top scoring team.
Wow.
Which is a crappy way to lose. Yeah, he probably should be 2-2 at this point. Vipers played a lot better the last 2 weeks than the way they opened the season. So the line is neither of these guys had anybody playing last night. The line is really close. 1 point. Joe's about a 2-point favorite over Woj heading into this one. Very even matchup. Woj is it's interesting. You have the bye weeks. This is the first week of the first scheduled week of byes. So you have Woj is missing C.J. Anderson, so he's going with Elijah McGuire, taking a shot at him in RB2 this week. Gutsy play against Cleveland. I mean, it makes sense because the Jets are playing Cleveland. It's still a gutsy play, in my opinion. The rest of his lineup, I'm fine with. Tight end is still a weakness for him. Joe's obviously got him beat there. Joe may have him. I think wide receiver is a bit close. Even though Sammy Watkins with a pretty lousy matchup against Seattle this week. A lot of question marks here. Biggest question mark is probably whether Mariota is going to play. Joe picked up Jacoby Brissett this afternoon, I believe. And so basically Mariota can't go. It looks like Joe's going with Jacoby Brissett this week at quarterback. I like that he picked up the Lions defense against a struggling Carolina offense, partially because the Lions defense has quietly been one of the best fantasy defenses so far, and nobody's taken a shot with them the first 4 weeks. So I do like that play.
That is true.
It's a nice little sneaky pickup by Joe to snag him, and he snagged Brissett, the Lions defense, after the bidding period, so he got them all for free, which I know is what he likes to do. I'm going with Woj. Actually, I guess that's technically an upset here. I am going with Woj. I think he's going to have. I think Woj is actually going to win at the running back position with Leonard Fournette, believe it or not, against Pittsburgh. Just because I think Fournette's proving to be a true stud running back at this point. And I really like what he's done so far, and I don't like. I mean, there's just too much unknown with Joe's quarterback position this week, with Mariota looking to be a game-time decision. So,
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head, Mike. It comes down to does Mariota play or not?
yeah.
If Mariota plays, I give Viper the nod. Play, then it's Woj.
Mm-hmm. I was mentioning how close I think the South teams actually are in terms of talent. I think the South's actually not record-wise, but talent-wise, all the four teams are very close together, and I think this matchup, kind of shows that in a lot of ways.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. This is definitely one of those too close to call type of matchups. Back outside of the South, Mo's team is coming in 3-1. She is going against Larry, whose team is just, I don't even know anymore.
Very.
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Nothing's going right. He's lost 3 in a row. His only win was by 3 points against the I think an 0-4 team. Joe or John.
John is 0-4.
Yeah. Larry hasn't beaten anybody good. He's got 1 win. He's lost 3 in a row. He doesn't look good in any of it. His team hasn't looked good in any of the games. New nominee for worst team in the league, maybe him. There's just nothing, not a whole lot there.
On Davis, really?
He's got Kareem Hunt at least. God.
True.
I mean, Larry doesn't have anybody. He's very banged up.
Doug Martin?
We'll see what Doug Martin does. He was what? He was okay last night, right? I think.
Yeah, he got like 70 yards and a touch.
He had 14. I mean, that's fine, I guess, for running back, considering what you get. That's like RB2 numbers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's better than what Larry's been getting, but that's not going to save his team.
By the way, who's he picking up as a tight end?
I think he's waiting out the Jordan Reed situation. Or no, he's not. Reed's off.
No, they're on bye week.
Yeah, they're on the bye week, so he does not have one. He's going to have to find somebody.
Uh-oh.
Not sure what he's planning to do. Devontae Adams does not have a projection right now, probably because he's probably not going to play. Yeah, he's got a lot of guys on bye, too, this week, which doesn't help. So it doesn't look good for Larry. Mo,
Larry's couch does not look like it's pulling out. Living up to his name.
Oh, no. I don't think it's going to be close. Mo's a 33-point favorite right now. That's entering the week. I think that's down to, can't remember. I think it's about the same. I don't think there was much of a difference. Winston met his projection last night, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or came close to just 1 point under at 18 points. So there wasn't a whole lot of changes last night. I mean, running backs to me is no contest.
Of course.
Yeah, interesting play going with Aaron Jones in the flex for Mo. A little outside the box there. Even if Larry can keep up at wide receiver, which it's hard to say one way or the other, I can't pick against Mo this week.
And I totally agree. The one thing I'll say about the wideout, guys, no doubt, Mo should have it for wideout.
Okay.
I feel like can be hit or miss. Parker has not done a whole hell of a lot, and I stand corrected. No, so retract that statement. Yeah, Mo takes it. Larry's couch will continue to not pull out, but that's another story. Anyways.
Yeah. I was going to make a comment about Larry maybe going to look for another quarterback too, because Roethlisberger hasn't done anything. So hasn't done a whole lot.
I thought you were going to say something about his couch, but
no, I'm not making any couch jokes.
Yeah,
no, thank you.
Just stirring the pot. I'm sorry. Making this fun.
Oh God. I'm waiting for a text from Larry about his reaction to your jokes.
By the way, just a side note. Why did we wait till 9:30 to
Yes,
start?
I was busy.
Oh.
Okay.
Fair enough. Okay.
Glenn's up.
Glennifer.
Him and his dancing. Another team. This is another team kind of in the Larry territory. Rob, who's lost 3 in a row. Last week was just bad luck. We already mentioned the loss to Woj, but the team is just a bit banged up.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Glenn dancing with his middle fingers.
Yeah, I know.
But go ahead.
Rob's got a lot of guys hurt, as well as a lot of guys on bye. Not good. Not a good thing. I mean,
Who
Glenn's
the
still missing
hell is
his time.
Juju Smith-Schuster?
Yeah,
Who's that?
his name has been tossed around. He's a new rookie, I believe, with Pittsburgh. His name's been tossed around. I believe he plays slot. He's been okay. Oh,
Wow. Dude, Mike, just so you know, this is a sign. You know how I said Juju to you? Don't mess up my Juju? Yeah, well, Juju's coming back. I mean, don't mess up his Juju,
Yeah.
man.
Well, I mean, I guess Rob, he picked up Smith Schuster today, I think. He's got to do something with the wideout position because it's not getting any better. He's missing Michael Thomas on the bye. Corey Davis, how long is Corey Davis going to be out? I mean, it's one of those hamstring type things where you don't know. It's almost like they don't know when he's going to come back. And besides those guys, I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot else there. Wide receiver is a big issue. Especially when you're going against Glenn's team, who has currently has the top wide receiver in Stephon Diggs. Rob's also missing Drew Brees this week, which when you're going up against Tom Brady is not a necessarily good thing. Though Tom Brady, I believe, fell short of his projection points.
That's an affirmative. Yeah, he was projected 20. He only got 12.
Yeah. So I mean, Glenn lost them a little bit of his projected lead, but the wide receivers, God, I mean, it's not good. It's not good. I think just based on that, that's why I'm picking Glenn. Rob does have him at running back with Hyde and McCoy. That's a nice combo he's got going. And I don't mind Jonathan Stewart in the flex because Stewart's been okay to start the year. He's been okay. Not great, okay. But Glenn, I mean, Glenn's team isn't great depth wise, but when you have the top defense, top quarterback, and top wide receiver, you're really at a good advantage right there. Between the Brady, Diggs, and the Jaguars defense, Glenn's been able to, hang with, the top teams in the league.
Right. I feel like this is a trap game a little bit.
For Glenn?
Yeah. Because just looking at the screen right now, Tom Brady underperformed. Deshaun Jackson had a very good day. Not a great day, but a good day. Tight ends thin. Benjamin Watson, but then again, he's going against Eric Ebron. We'll also look at the running backs. You're absolutely right. Bergen Blaze has the advantage on that. Crabtree's supposed to give it a go this week. I think, and this might be a little too analytical, but I think Moncrief is he's all right. Let's put it this way. He's no T.Y. Hilton, but he's not the worst option in the world. He would probably be more of a wideout 3 for me. this week. So
against
I
San
think,
Francisco.
yeah, maybe. It depends on the matchup and who's covering him, because they're going to lock in on T.Y. Hilton. I feel like this one's going to be much closer than what it seems. It's going to come down to if Moncrief performs or not versus Glenn's running back production.
Mm-hmm.
That would be.
Glenn isn't favored like Michelle's favored or Monique's favored. It's actually
right.
It's not. It looks wide, but it's not quite as one-sided as either of those two games.
Right, and that's why I'm suggesting that if Moncrief does, like, if he has a serviceable day, let's just say double-digit points, like 10, 11, 12 points, and Frank Gore and Cohen get single-digit, I think Bergen Blaze might have a shot.
Okay, that's fair. I think that's fair. I will say Rob needs to win bad. Playing in your division.
Honestly, I'm surprised I'm even 3-1 right now. But as you alluded to, we're only getting more difficult. So
it's hard to when you get in the bye weeks, you can catch teams you can catch teams.
Yep.
Do that. So this is that time of the season where you do see upsets crop up.
Agreed.
It's a little bit harder to break off a win streak.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. Last up is my game. I'm playing John. John, he cannot. I mean, it's just every week it looks like he's played all close games. 4 games. He hasn't lost by more than 17 in any of those 4 games. But I mean, it's just every time it looks like he's got a shot to win, somebody chokes it away on his team, or it has a case of he should have played somebody else. Last week it was the injury bug got him on Thursday night. Doesn't look like Montgomery's going to play. Dalvin Cook got hurt last Sunday. He's done for the year. That didn't help. John, I mean, at this point, I mean, John has talent on his team. There's talent there. He's going to win games, but coming back from 0-4 is just so difficult because he has no wiggle room. He can't lose any more than 1 or 2 more games if he wants to go to the playoffs.
Mike, can I honestly tell you this?
What's that?
I need to honestly tell you this.
Go ahead.
If there is a team built right now that can survive going 0-4, it is John Davis, because he has talent. He's got decent wideouts. He's got great running backs. Carson Wentz has looked good. He's got some defenses to work with. I mean, right now, and not to mention, with all due respect to the South, like, he can beat some teams. He can win some games.
So we haven't had too many divisional games yet in the South. There's actually this week and next week are back-to-back all division games for the South.
Right. And that's
he plays Woj next week, this week, and Woj next week, so he can make up ground with a couple wins.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I would say if there's a team that can do it and is built to do it, it's John Davis. It's an extremely misleading 0-4 right now.
It is. The only reason I bring it up is just, and I'm not speaking on his team, I'm speaking mathematically. Mathematically, you don't have wiggle room. He can't lose more than 2 more games.
Yeah,
the rest of the way, and that's hard to do.
Right, but would you say that right now, at this point, looking at his lineup, that's a lineup that's worthy of going to the playoffs, regardless of record and how much in the hole he's in? Would you say that's a line?
Probably is a 6 seed. Probably. He probably needs to get a wideout.
Yeah.
Just to complement Evans, but I mean, he's got. I mean, even with Dalvin Cook, he's still in okay shape at running back.
Yeah.
That drafting on that depth paid off. With Carson Wentz, buying in on the Eagles with Carson Wentz and Zach Ertz paying off because they're looking great. Ertz has a great connection with Carson Wentz. I'm glad he has to play Carson Wentz this week because Matt Ryan's on a bye, but he hasn't played Carson Wentz yet, which surprises me. I'm
Right.
glad he's finally playing him. So this was the thing. I had John. I thought John sure thing was going to win this week, and then last night happened.
With Cameron Brate.
Cameron
Yep.
Bullock played well. Evans did not play well. He only got half his projected 18. I think he got 9. He got 9. Cameron Brate, I mean, that was just kind of a shot in the dark after I made the Crowell trade. I needed a flex. I figured, you know what, Brate's hasn't looked bad. We'll go with Brate. He got 17 points. He scored he's got 4 more catches in 3 straight games. He scored in 3 consecutive games. And you know what? I think this week was actually the first time I ever did 2 tight end sets, James.
Oh.
First time ever.
Wow. So, did I start a trend?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, Brate's playing well right now, and obviously Kelsey, you can make a case that Kelsey might be the top tight end when Gronk's hurt.
But Mike, can I just hear an apology for last season?
All right, I apologize. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah. So I actually think my team can pull this out this week, but a lot of unknowns. Again, that Kansas City-Houston game is going to be a big factor. One, I don't know what Kareem Hunt's going to do. Kareem Hunt's been unstoppable for the most part through 4 weeks. What will he do against a good Houston defense? We'll see. I'm going with Deshaun Watson this week at quarterback, again, even against Kansas City. Don't know how that's going to work out. We'll see. It's crazy. I went against my spreadsheet in playing the Ravens defense against Oakland this week.
Whoa.
Just because of Carr. Though I saw on the official injury report, Carr is actually not out. Really questionable. Apparently he did practice. So I don't know. That would be something else if he ends up playing. But I'm rolling with the Ravens defense, even though they've been dreadful the last 2 weeks. If EJ Manuel plays, I'm thinking, oh, God, maybe they can do something. It's hard to say. I'm going with myself, even though John has a huge advantage at running back. Fact is, he's still playing Brandon Marshall. He's still playing Brandon Marshall. As great as Justin Tucker is as an actual kicker, he's a liability with how bad the Ravens' offense has been this year.
Yeah, but at least he's not Nick Folk.
Well, yeah.
Or Robert Aguayo, or the Tampa Bay kicking game as a whole.
Yeah. Bucks. I don't know. It must be something in the water there or something in Tampa. I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't think anybody can explain it. So I'm going. I think I can pull it out. I'm going to be confident this week and say I'm going to win, but it's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm. I'll agree with you on that.
Okay. I didn't think you would.
Yeah.
Nothing additional?
You're
good.
Yeah.
All right. That's just about it. Anything else?
But actually, I do have a question.
Go ahead.
Because I know Larry has a lot of boys. That night after the trade went through with Crowell, Larry sends me a text message, and I'm paraphrasing. I forget exactly what it says, but he was like, "Bruh, you got Craw?" Is Isaiah Crowell one of his boys?
Oh yeah, you remember him with the hype video?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Last year, and he is one of his. He's like on the pantheon. He's up with Dez. Him and Dez, like your.
Oh man,
so much.
I got one.
that when I found out after the draft, Larry picked fifth and could have easily taken Crowell in the first round and didn't. After I took him, I found out after the draft, Larry was not happy that I took Crowell. Now, in retrospect, I'm not happy I took Crowell with that pick either.
Well, I'm happy I got him by trading my backup quarterback.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that works. It'll be interesting to see if Crowell bounces back or not, and how everything works out. I'm kind of happy with the situation. I think I'm gonna have to be put in a good position. I can pick up a running back or receiver by trading. I mean, eventually gets back and plays well. Carr gets back and plays well. I'm loaded at quarterback. So it makes puts me in a good position to potentially make a deal with a quarterback weak team down the line, or a quarterback needy team. I can't think of
like
anybody
Larry.
off the top of my head. Well, see, the problem with Larry is that he needs everything practically. So I don't know if there's any saving. Just as a comment on what I would do if I was in Larry's position. If you're in Larry's position where he doesn't even, where is he at here? Doesn't even have possible, good possible keeper items moving forward. He's almost in a position where it gets late in the year. You trade try to, if somebody's willing to do this, which, I've done this before, trade 4 or 5 of your guys for 1 star. And just pick up a keeper.
Right.
Kind of the closest thing you can get to a sort of tank mode. The trouble is finding someone who's willing to give up a star, a playoff contender who's willing to give up a star, but improve in 3 or 4 other positions by a tiny bit. It's one of those, it's a very hard thing to pull off, but it can work out on both ends if you do it. I did that. Actually, I don't. I gambled in our first season, going back 10 years. I did that with I made an 8-player trade with Huberman. If you remember that. I traded, traded him with, I think, Frank Gore and Jason Witten for 5 or 6 guys. Both of us
Huberman.
So we're going way back.
Man, we're old.
What's that? Oh my God, 10 years ago. It's been around for a while, but
Dude,
that's just my impression on what to do when you're in a position like Larry's in. Is he's not even in a position like Bastardfish was in, where Bastardfish still had Odell Beckham and Todd Gurley, as bad as that team was last year.
I mean, I see one keeper with him, Mike Evans.
You're looking at the wrong.
Oh no! I'm sorry. Wow. Maybe Doug Martin.
Muscle Hamster's been around a little while. Been around the block now.
Well, I mean, the only ones that I would keep on his team are and Des Bryant.
I wouldn't keep Des Bryant anymore.
Yeah. Totally.
This isn't 2013 anymore. This isn't Dallas does not just throw the ball 50 times a game.
True.
Like they did a few seasons ago. It's a running team now, and it's a running play action sort of team. Dez has not been. He was not like he was in his heyday. He isn't the same with Dak as he was with Romo. It's just not the same. It's a very different, and I think people fail to understand that the team, the whole offense is basically revolves around Ezekiel Elliott and the offensive line.
Right.
Dak, Prescott, the whole passing game is kind of secondary below that. So I wouldn't keep Dez. I actually, and this is calling me crazy, I actually like Doug Baldwin more than Dez as a keeper. Baldwin's at least consistent. Baldwin's consistent.
He is.
He's consistent. Doug Baldwin's always up there in fringe wide receiver one numbers at least 3 years in a row now. He's just not a big name. So
That's true.
I think it's not a sexy keeper, but I think Baldwin's probably the closest thing he has there. Anyway, I think that's going to be it. Anything else?
Love you. No homo.
Okay. That sounds good. All right.
Justine, make sure he doesn't pull his couch out.